guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Cellphone. Today I am coming to you with a very sensitive topic and something that is very close to my heart, and I only came out with this only 2 years ago when I was in a bad mental state with myself, and I had broken into a friend with this sexual abuse encounter. I broke down and cried this one time. I was sitting at the restaurant with a friend. I asked him that we go out for coffee, and I had been drinking throughout the night, the previous night. And I felt that particular morning that it is the time to free myself and to talk about this thing. I thought he was going to judge me when I broke down this news to him, but I trusted him enough that I knew that even though when I was thinking that he was going to judge me, he wasn't going to go out and tell anybody else, because I didn't want to be seen or be known as somebody who had sexual abuse encounter at the age of 11. So we went to the restaurant, and sorry guys, we went to this restaurant, and let me collect myself. Okay. We went to the restaurant, and funny enough, the owner of the restaurant was friendly enough to me, and the people who were there didn't mind me, and I was crying, talking to the friend, letting it all out that, look man, this is what I have encountered as a young girl, and I am ready. I think I am ready now to let go of this monster, of the spirit that is haunting me. And he just listened, because when you want to share such thing to somebody else, you just want them to listen. So he was just listening. He wasn't ashamed or embarrassed that I was crying at a restaurant and we were in a public space. And I cried, I finished crying, we laughed after that, and I went to see another friend of mine. So we went together after we had coffee together, and then we went to see my other friend. So this is how the story happened. A family friend visited. They were having some nice time with my parents. They were having drinks. And my parents thought that he was too drunk to walk back home that particular night. So they offered him to stay over for the night. Cool. And my parents had now gone to sleep. This guy, they prepared a place for him to sleep on the floor at the lounge. I didn't hear the door opening, my bedroom door opening, when he was coming in. And he got into my bed, and he faced downwards position. I felt something in between my thighs, and I was like, what is going on? And who is this big person sitting, sleeping in my bed? Because usually my younger sisters would come at the time and sleep with me when they didn't want to sleep with my parents. But it didn't feel like this was a child. And I was very scared to turn the lights on and see who it was. And I could smell that this was a smell that I didn't know, and this was something that I have never encountered, because my stepdad, has never, we've never like shared a bed, or he never came to my room. He would only like open the door and check up if everyone was at home and if everyone was asleep. So he never came like into my bed and stuff like that. I was like, what is going on? Who is this person? And he inserted his fingers through my vagina. And you know, when you're in a shock, you don't know how to react to stuff like that, especially when they have never happened to you. And at the time, there wasn't such, sorry guys, but I'm correct to talk about this. There wasn't awareness enough around the stuff, even if there was awareness, but there weren't a lot of victims that would come forth and say, hey, I am so and so and I have encountered sexual abuse at this age. Okay, cool. He came now to my side, and he was coming from the back. He did what he did. He finished, and my body couldn't move. My body couldn't move. I couldn't cry. I wanted to, but I couldn't cry. But tears would come out, and he left. Apparently, when my parents woke up, because I've been crying throughout the night, that particular night, and when my parents woke up, he was already gone. He left. So he knew what he had done to me. And I think that it was his intentions to do that particular night to me. I waited for my dad to go to work. My sisters were not at home at the time. My sisters were not at home that particular time. I was with my mom. I was just with my mom. So I told my mom what had happened. And my mom didn't believe me. She said, no, I must have been imagining things. She doesn't think that that's the way it happened. And I asked my mom, why do you think that he had left so early without telling you guys that he was leaving? My mom was like, he was probably drunk or something. She told me that she's going to tell my dad. And she told me that, don't think that I do not believe you. I do believe you, but I just think that we are boniswa man. Okay, cool. My dad came back from work. He was pissed off. The guy came over and they told me to wait outside. In as much as the meeting or whatever that was going on that they were talking about, it was me, it was about me, it was concerning me. I was the victim, I was victimized. Why should I wait outside for the elderly to speak how I was victimized, how I was sexually victimized and abused? Okay, cool. I wait outside because I'm an obedient child. I waited outside and then came back. Okay, they opened the door and then they said, okay, you can come in. I came inside and then they told me that I couldn't face him. I couldn't even look at him. I looked at my mom. I was crying. I was like, for real? For real? Are you apologizing on behalf of a man that has victimized me, sexually harassed me, sexually abused me? My mom was like, and my dad was like, Lihlazo ke eli utata ka uNathi alenzileyo kuwe nuye. We're gonna buy ibhotile yebranti. Kuzawuthengwa ibhotile yebranti, guys, for uba makuhlanjwe ihlazo elenziwe ngutata kwa uNathi. They're gonna buy a bottle of alcohol to cleanse all andiyazi uba ndizathi yintoni inyala nge-English, elenziwe ngutata ka uNathi kum, elenze utata ka uNathi enxilile butywala. Okay, fine. And my mom was like, okay, this is a peace offering from utata ka uNathi to you, that to show that how sorry he is. And she gave me 50 rand, guys. My soul, my dreams, my virginity, my pride, my joy was sold for 50 rand. And right there and there, I felt that I was alone. I felt that if this thing can be dealt with in such a way that they've dealt with it, who am I to go forth and go and report to the police or whoever that ndiye ndahlukunyezwa ngokwesondo, if my own mother can give me 50 rand just for all of that to go away? I was like, okay, this is something that I have to own. This is something that I have to carry for the rest of my life, because now my virginity is gone and all I was given back was 50 rand to make all of that go away. It's something that I carried throughout my childhood, and I had a very rocky, rough childhood and upbringing, because I was just bitter, man. I saw things ngenye indlela. I looked at life in another perspective. I thought, man, this world actually is cruel, and with such a majority of cruel people, who am I, just myself, to come forward and report this matter, try and be different from the rest of abantu? Let me just ndihlale nalento. And I only came out 2 years ago because it felt so heavy, and I felt that it's time for that demon to leave me, because it was haunting me so much. And I would do izinto out of Lando, because I would think about it and be like, if into encinci kanje, or if a man, or if somebody wants something out of me, why ningamniki? If a drunk man and my virginity and my innocence was sold for, if a drunk man took advantage of me, and instead of manangaba lamntu apanishwe or kwenziwe i-actions ezi-right money about that encounter, why ke ngoku ndizamsokolisa umntu xa ifuna into ethile out of me? And I would like to say thank you so much for my friends who have been there for me. You guys are amazing. And guys, sometimes you just need friends around, or you just need that somebody to talk to. Why am I so emotional? Let me get myself together. To talk to, and yazi, we don't always need a family. because if family can be the one that can turn against you. Because ininzi into eyenzekayo efemelini, there's jealous omnye komnye, ufumanisa into yobana umntu unosister but bane-jealousy omnye komnye, and then when such things happen, you go and report to umakazi wakho or to ever efemelini, umntu afumanisa into yoba uyarejoyisa ngento yomnye umntu. So I think andiyazi man itriki, because ezinye iifemeli zirayithi enough umntu abe nomakazi who's there for yena okanye udabawo or whoever manci whatever wethu, but kwezinye it is just a mess. It is a mess, but ndiyambulela uThixo because to be strong enough to finish isikolo, because I was very problematic esikolweni, ndisonqena isikolo, ndingahambi isikolo, but not in terms of academics. Academically I was doing well, I can say. I didn't see a purpose for me to go to school, but why ndizaya esikolweni? Because sekuphelile ngam, and my teachers would ask me, yinto ingxaki yalo mntana, yinto ingxaki yalo mntana. You know, sometimes abantu bajonga uba kutheni lo mntana enje, kutheni lo mntana behavior ngolu hlobo, but they do not look kwinto yobana, I wonder inoba ingayintoni into eyenza lo mntana abe kanti like i-root behind i-behavior yomntana. Kuyafuneka sizijonge i-behavior zabantwana bethu, because sometimes akukho lula uphuma out, uye ufilishe trapped, and ke ngoku zininzi izinto ke ngoku xa kungekho lula uphuma out that you have to deal with. Zininzi izinto ezingenelelayo. So yeah man guys, injalo i-episode yethu yanamhlanje. I think emotional, and bendingafuni uba ibe njalo, because I was praying throughout before ndirekhode le video, but I don't want this video to turn out like this. But I feel like I need to tell my story one day to the world, so that we can save other souls and young girls out there, for them not to go through what I went through, for them to know that it's okay to be abused, it's okay to be a victim, you didn't ask for it. It's okay to come out and talk to people and say, hey, this is what happened to me. But it doesn't necessarily mean but after that kuzokwenzeka ezinye izinto ezibad kuyo, and it's okay to forgive yourself and say, hey, it's okay, because babe ingenzekanga kuwe bizawuyenzeka kubani. And I have learned into bana ngaba izinto, they happen to us for other people. So when something happens to you, it doesn't happen to you for you. It happens to you for somebody else to say, nah, yeah, usurvivile. I can go through this. So that is it from me today as for this episode. I hope to see you guys in the next episode, and guys, it's gonna be a happy one. I think at this point in time, I want you guys, let us do a Q&A where you ask me everything that I have spoken about so far in the channel. Guys, thank you so much guys for taking time and listening to my story. I knew that one day I will come out, I will tell my story to the world, I will tell my story to the people. Okay, I love you so much. That is all from me to you. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Cheers guys, love you all. Bye bye.